Truth Seekers, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in tonight. It is Wednesday night, hump day. And yes, I'm here live tonight. And why? Because there's a lot going on in the UFO world. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of big announcements and things that's going to be coming out. So I figured it would be a good time to come back here and talk about some of the most popular UFO cases that have ever been told. And then, of course, you can get in the chat too and talk about some of the ones that you think as well. And I think it's all good that we'll do that. So anyway, I just want to welcome each and every one of you here tonight. You could have been any other place tonight, but you chose to be right here, right now. And with that being said, I will serve you. It'll give enough time for some others to hop in because I haven't been here in a while. So some of them got their alerts turned off. They might be like, Roderick is never coming back and whatever. And I did say that, but at the same time, I missed each and every one of you. So I'm here. So at this time, I like to do a sound check. Check. Let me know if we're good. Place it in the chat and we can do that. But if you have not been really paying attention, and you should have, you know, there's a lot of stuff moving around in Congress right now, and it is a little quiet. But even Lou Elizondo today post some cryptic message that Nicole sent me, and I was looking at it. I was like, wow, I just wonder if he's really getting ready to say some big things out there as well. Okay, you guys can hear me all right. Appreciate it. And so Lou Elizondo put a message out, and he was just saying some creepy stuff. And let me see if I have it here so I can read it to you before we really get into what we're going to be going into tonight. But I thought it was interesting. If you didn't, go look at his account on Twitter and check it out. His message was, friends in the most quiet before the storm, is what he's saying. He said, there's no going back. So obviously we're going somewhere of a point of no return. He says some members of Congress finally knows what's going on, and some officials in the executive branch are scrambling. Like there's something about to come out. Maybe we getting ready to hear something. They're trying to cover it up. I don't know why the executive branch will scramble, because they're more the government and they're not the military industrial complex or contractors or the big secret keeper. So why would they care unless they was part of it? But it says that efforts are underway below the wave tops, is what he said, and the results which will break the surface and reveal themselves at a time of our choosing. I don't know what he mean, like they got the power to do this, but he said this is going to be an interesting year for those who continue to obfuscate, and we are hard at work for you. So apparently he's saying something's big is about to happen. We've been saying it. You know, I think Dr. Greer said it a few years ago, 2024 or 2025. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening in the UFO space. I don't know if any of you have heard of any of these things. If you have, you can place it in the chat a little bit. Let me know. But for the most part, he's indicating that there is going to be some big things happening. Now, he does, by all means, have a book that he will be introducing to the communities. And so I don't think that was a promo for the book. I think he was just talking about what is truly happening within our government and congressional sectors, and possibly something big is moving around. And whatever it is almost like he said they're afraid of something. And so I don't know. Maybe, again, we can do that. So Ann says, we really miss you. Appreciate. Hey, I miss all of you too. I really do. I miss each and every one of you. And so I'm here, and I'm trying to figure out a way to just come back as frequently. I really wanted to do some everyday stuff. But anyway, we'll get into that. What this video here tonight is about, if you've been in ufology for quite some time, you've heard numerous of stories when it comes down to UFO cases. Now, there's books been written. There's thousands and thousands of cases that's out there. Still not enough to sway everybody that the intelligent life out there exists, and the fact that we're not alone in this universe, and there's still people walking around not believing that a UFO, unidentified flying object, is even a real thing. And especially in everywhere. I mean, it's everywhere. You're going to get that if you talk to a majority, not minority, but there's enough people out there who would just say it's still a scandal, or it's still some type of hoax or whatever. And I don't believe that. I really believe that, we're talking about things that are happening, right? Because I've been in it, and we got enough evidence to know that UFOs, UAPs, extraterrestrials are real, and they are here and been coming here for quite some time. probably living here and maybe living underneath the ground that we walk this very day. And so why not? But anyway, through all of that, there's been a lot of cases out there. There's been a lot, some bigger, some small. I can accumulate it, what I call some of the 21 most some significant ones. And you might have your own list of thoughts that really still sticks out to you the most. But these are things, and some you may be familiar with. And if you've been around, you might be familiar with each and every one of of one of these cases. And I'll give you a little bit of what they're about. But then will probably touch on what really makes these particular cases among the others significant. What makes them most important? Was it the incident? Was it the people that was involved? Or what was the facts about it? Now, I'll skate through a lot of these so that we can have an open dialogue, but I will say it sets the tone for what is happening in the future. And if you think about the future or what's happening in ufology, then you can go back and look what has happened in the past, and therefore you can say, okay, wait a minute, there's something. And so from all the cover-ups that we had up until now, we are now looking at things a little different and pretty much from there. So like I said today, with those announcements, what I talked about earlier, what Nicole sent me about Lou Elizondo, go look it up yourself. Look up his Twitter, kind of follow some of the comments and really see if it's a cryptid message. It didn't say much of nothing. So anyway, it just kind of throwing those things out there and makes you go, why are we listening to that? One of the most infamous cases out there that we'll talk about here, and if you're in agreement or if you know anything about it, like I said, just kind of involve into the conversation, is the Skinwalker Ranch. Now, there have been countless of stories and books and possible documentaries, all in TV series, everything covered on Skinwalker Ranch. Now, I'm still, me personally, still a little iffy about Skinwalker Ranch because there's just been so much of phenomena there, high strangeness to be exact, to a point that, damn, what the hell really going on there? But if you start looking at the history, then from some of those old families, they're really not saying that they saw a UFO ever anyway. And then you look at some of the shows, they was talking about some hope. But the details of that is that it was a sprawling property in Utah that has been the site of numerous paranormal and UFO sightings. So it's an intersect between the paranormal, the cryptid, and UFOs. And for some reason, just happening in that particular area. Dino beavers, we all heard that before. You have all of those stories and different things, and we can do that. Yeah. So Judah is right. Make sure y'all vote for me. Matter of fact, let me put this thing. I think I put something up on the screen here. But anyway, right here, make sure you vote because I am in the podcast category, been nominated by you all, of course. And now we have to do the final votes. And there is a link in the description of this video that you can go click and you will be able to vote for me. But there's some fine people that I am in that category with. Erin, my girl, y'all know who she is. She's just fantastic and a dear friend. And we got a lot of work that we're going to be doing together in the future. Alex, I never met them. Sean and Sean Kelly, I never met them, but I know some of them, they got some real great big audience. So we got to really step up to be able to at least show up. You know what I'm saying? Show up because we got to vote some stuff. So I'll be here. We're going to be lobbying for it. We would do that. So anyway, make sure to vote and it's in the description. Back to Skinwalker Ranch. Over the years, there have been reports of, cattle mutilation. We're talking crop circles. We're talking unexplained lights in the area. And so this ranch has been known to be what they consider some type of portal. Now, whether you believe that or not, or portals exist, this particular one. Now, do I believe that portals exist? Well, I got my own kind of interpretation or thoughts when it comes down to portals. I only relate it to the Sasquatch, Bigfoot, the Yeti, because I think that, I can't say they go into portals, which makes them so elusive, why people can't find them or see them. I just think that they go back into some spaceship and it looks like portals because my belief, and y'all heard it before, that the Bigfoot is a pet. It's like I got my dog over there, Zulu, and it's dark where we are right now. And if you were across the street, down the street, it's completely dark, and I open the door, all you're gonna see is light, right? You're just gonna see light. And so therefore, that's my idea of why people always see light when Bigfoot disappear and everything else. Yes, Damon, we are live, and thank y'all for voting for me as well. So, and I think we look at this to say that you know, I know I got to tell y'all we live and stuff because I know when I put up on the other channel, it gets a little different. But we are live. We are live. We're live right now, and pretty much. But thank you, Faith, for voting for me as well. And well, don't forget, if you voted before to get me nominated, now it's time to vote again to win. Okay, so make sure we understand that. So if you haven't voted recently, as of the announcement 2 or 3 days ago or 2 days ago, then the link is in the description. Vote for the win. Okay, we're going to do that. Yeah, we got to go. We got to get it this time, y'all. We got to get it. I don't know if any of y'all saw the live event, but Robert Grant was sitting behind me when they made the announcement. He was like right there. Okay. Well, when she started out, she said, Rod, and I jumped my ass because I thought she was getting ready to say Roderick. And I went like, whoa, yeah, But if you go back and play the tape, you'll see it. I thought it was me. Okay, yeah, let's crash the system. Use other emails. Let's do that. Whatever it takes. But back to what I was talking about with Skinwalker Ranch is in Bigfoot. Like I said, when there was always so many of these reports that people will tracks just stop in the middle of nowhere, or they smell this type of stench or something. And I think about it because if I let Zulu out the door and he want to go and relieve himself, and you were sitting downwind, you're gonna smell some stench, right? You're gonna be like, what is that? And then when I let him back in, you try to follow his tracks, and if he was out in the dirt, and then he comes into the place, and now the track stopped, and this was a cloaked spacecraft, and I took off, you would say, where did it go? So that's why I think Bigfoot is a freaking pet. That's my deal. All right, so Skinwalker Ranch. I got a question for you. And you can put it in the chat. Is Skinwalker Ranch really a hotbed for paranormal activity, or simply a case of mass hysteria? What are your personal thoughts? Put it in the chat. What do you think about Skinwalker Ranch? All that you've heard and all that you've seen, all of the different things. What do you think about Skinwalker Ranch? Is it real? Is it real? Now, like I said, you got TV shows that was made around this thing. You have books. You have stories of how things were probably made up when it came down to Skinwalker Ranch. So you let me know. What do you think when it comes down to that? And like I said, I look at it different. Was the nature of the portal that was said to exist on Skinwalker Ranch? People said it's a portal, but there's been no recordings or capture of footage of an actual portal. Now, we can go all the way back to the Native American stories. We can go back, and if you do your history, the family who owned it in the beginning really said that there was nothing there. I forget their name, but they owned it for like years and years, and then sold it to the next family, who then claimed that it happened, who then sold it to Bigelow. So the original people was like, man, we did nothing go on. We had this thing in our family for years. And so we will look at it from there. All right. Dom say you just voted for me. All right, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. We can do it. We got body electric supplement in the house tonight. So Faith says she thinks it's a portal. Damien said it's a hotbed. I like I said, it's just been so many. But go look that up, though. The Skinwalker Ranch story. The next one of the top cases that we all should know about will be Roswell, New Mexico, back in 1947. Who cannot think about this fucking thing, right? All right, Sandra says she just voted. All right, man, come on, cool. The vote, the link is in the description of the video. You can just click it, boom, 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 and vote for me, and then change your email and vote for me again. All right, so anyway, Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. Now, this was the U.S. military announced that they had recovered a wreckage or a flying saucer near Roswell, New Mexico. Now, if you remember, the military later claimed that the wreckage was actually from a weather balloon, which was a project that they was working on to spy on, I think, the Russians at the time, or China, but I think it was Russia. But many other people believe that it was actually a UFO. There's been a lot of conflicting stories about Roswell, but yet the entire freaking town is it has an ecosystem when it comes down to the historic conversation of UFOs there. And you have, once again, movies after movie. In fact, I'm in a TV show on Fox Tubi called The Anniversary of Roswell, New Mexico. And when we were making that show, even the producers of the show was unaware that there was 2 crashes. And by the time the show ended and they was gathering up each of the experts, they got kind of like, man, we don't know what to think. Now we're hearing that there was 2 stories. They wasn't prepared to know that. But yet there's been something around that. Now, Roswell, New Mexico has been the story of us testing one of the first magnetic, I think for what it was called, whatever kind of gun that we brought down the spacecrafts. And then, of course, they were hit by lightning. There were just so many stories that when it landed on Mac Brazel's ranch. Now, the military claimed, like I said, that it was a balloon, but the Roswell incident remains one of the most famous and controversial UFO cases in history. Now, what you want to think about was, and many people will ask the question, was there a good crash? I mean, did it really happen? Did it really happen? And what are y'all thoughts? From what you know and for what you've seen, do you think it really happened in Roswell? So, all right. Body Alexis, I just popped in myself. What's going on? And Faye says, I'm just waiting to see the spaceship rise up on the ocean. Oh, that's right, because I see some of your posts. So you're out by water. Is that correct, Faye? And from there, Roger says he's late. No, you're not late, buddy. We're here. We just got here 15, 20 minutes ago, so you're good. Another part would be, why did the military cover up the truth about Roswell incident? Now, if we want to think about the historic rise of the UFO cover-up, most people would tend to say it begun where the Roswell, New Mexico incident began. All right. It started right there. It was the first, because after Kenneth Arnold dubbed the term flying saucers, then we now have the Roswell, New Mexico incident saying they seen flying saucers. And of course, they say, no, it was a weather balloon. But however, as we all know, the story existed that they first reported that they recovered a flying saucer. They didn't care. They was like, hey, we got a flying saucer. I just wish I was in the room or somewhere, a fly on the wall, or had a time machine or something to be there when those suckers said, we need to cover this up because there was little men, alien people walking or something, right? I think that'd have been something there. Starseed said, I researched it a bit, but I don't think nothing crashed. Okay. Why do you think nothing crashed? And we love to want to hear that your side of the fence there. So it was the beginning. And you want to know what made. Now, we can look at it today as ufologists and say, we can't handle the truth. People cannot handle the truth. Now, I'm probably with that, right? Do I think that people can handle the truth when it comes to Roswell?
Hell no.
Any UFO, they cannot do it. They cannot handle that. Now, I'm not saying that people shouldn't want to at any beginning of the things. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the support there, Faye, as well. All right. So, and hey, make sure y'all here Friday. Nicole is going to be here. I think Lonnie is going to be here. It's going to be my birthday thing, Friday, March 8th, Freaky Friday. But my birthday is the 10th, and you can all help out. You can contribute to the birthday wish. We're going to have a panel. And if you want to come on live, wish me a happy birthday with your camera and all of that stuff, make sure that you hop in with us this Friday, 8:00. We're going to be here and put that in there. But all right, so let's go back. What's up? with the yeah, they better get ready. Yeah, you're right. I think people need to mentally get ready for what is happening. Now, I've said it before. There is a push. There is a reason that we do have our U.S. government disclosure and the factions out there trying to disseminate information as possible. I've done. You can go back and look at video shows that I did about the Israeli prime minister guy, their UFO guy, saying that the extraterrestrials said it's now time to be revealed. But once I start looking into all of this, it's like it's crazy as it get. But with Roswell, what the implications? Remember, because of the cover up, what would they be if it were proven that Roswell incident was a genuine UFO crash? So what would happen if they were to truly prove that there were aliens walking? And now I'm beginning to say, how is it possible that they can cover up something that the whole freaking town knew about? Not 10 people, not 20, 30, hundreds of people with children and generations of generations. How can something get covered up like that, right? And it's amazing because you sure there was other people and other people and other people, but okay, maybe I don't know. But that's the other part that we need to see. Nicole said we were never involved as species until we know the truth about our world and universe. Yeah, I will agree with you on that. That we do that. Evolution or understanding the past will dictate the presence or the future, so to speak, or where we came from. I think that it would work if everybody's psyche was at a point where they could handle the fact of the truth, because one of the most challenging things, even for people or people that you're with in relationships or business relationships, it is a challenge for most people to convert from something all of their lives that they thought to be true. And then they get enough information and they're willing to take the information to alter the belief of all their life that they thought was true was no longer true. Vice versa. People that all their lives that thought something was not true and they fought about it. They figured that the world doesn't move in that way. This is not it. It's not that. And then they get enough information to counter that thought. It still takes a hell of a wave of movement, a mindset for them to convert to the point where they now would accept something that they thought was not true all of their lives we're talking religion in some cases, to be true. And that is something that we have to go. What do you mean I need a spacesuit? I'm not traveling anywhere. I don't know. I can probably do that. All right. So number 3 is, and correct me if I'm wrong, and y'all asked me something about this. We're talking about the Betty and Barney Hill abduction. Anybody familiar with the Betty and Barney Hill abduction? Put in the chat if you're familiar with the Betty and Barney. This happened in 1961, if you're familiar with it. And if you are, I'm not really going into that. I'm going to go into it, but I just have a better question to see. So if you are familiar with it, and make sure, if I could be wrong, and I'm probably wrong. When you speak of a husband and wife tandem, is it, and maybe I've never got married with what you call where you send out these invitations and stuff. So do the man or the woman's name go first? So is it Betty and Barney Hill, or is she a Hill because of him? And should the story be Barney and Betty Hill? Somebody just talk to me about that in the chat a little bit, and just something. I'll keep moving a little bit, but just kind of talk to me about that as we go forward here. Should it be Betty and Barney Hill or Barney and Betty Hill? I just want to know for woman names first. Okay, cool. No problem. I just wanted to know. No problem. All right. So in 1961, as you know, so Damon said Barney and Betty. Mike says Barney and Betty. So by the electric, you're a school teacher. So why do you think the woman's name first, or not think, is it proper or whatever? All right, Barney and Betty. Faye said Barney and Betty. All right. Okay. See, I thought about that, and not to bring havoc or anything, but I was like, of course, it's her niece who wrote the books. So I'm sure she will honor her aunt and put the name first. But I just thought properly, wouldn't it be Barney and Betty Hill instead of her Betty and Barney Hill? Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Okay. I corresponded with parents and the woman's first. Oh, okay. All right. Damon says, so why do we say Mr. and Mrs. husband's full name? That was my point. All right. So somebody else says Betty and Barney Hill married at the time when mixed race marriages was illegal. Was it? Or how could they be legally married if it was illegal? All right. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Y'all can kind of explain that for me. Anyway, so the Hills described their abduction as short gray. See, the Hills, there was a short gray skinned beings with large heads and almond-shaped eyes. This is what they said. And they said the abduction case is one of the most widely reported and well-documented UFO abduction cases in history. Now, the question would be, did Betty and Barney recently really encounter aliens, or was they experience a hoax? Everybody asked that. So, but we know through history, through all the books, Kathleen Martin, which I know her, great lady, so, she's put a lot of the facts out there and written, the next anniversaries of this. And so their story's been, and supposedly it was under hypnosis. And so there was a lot of documented things that prove that incident actually happened. And so therefore there's something to be said with this. But yeah, so it was, all right. So Nicole said, yeah, it was illegal in the southern states and they were from New England. Oh, all right. But after marriage, it's Mr. and Mrs. All right. Great compromise, Roderick. Women give up their name, and the least you could do is use the woman names first. Why is it, why y'all be beating up on me? I didn't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying? I was just saying, I was just saying, we can kick, I'm just saying, y'all be beating me up, man. Y'all be beating me up. Y'all be, yeah. My bad. That's all I'm saying. My bad. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. My bad. All right. So straight from Betty's mouth. I know, right? Oh, Damon, I'm not going to repeat what you said. Don't start that. Don't you start that, Damon. Hell no. I'm going to put your chat. I'm going to put that thing right up on the screen. He said it. I ain't saying nothing. There you go. And maybe he's talking about Betty Crocker Foods or something, but I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I didn't say it at all. All right. So anyway, did the Hills, if the Hills were abducted, what was the purpose of their abduction? And so that's something that I've always thought about. And I think we've had plenty of conversations when we talk about why would extraterrestrials abduct people in the first place? And that goes back to something that's pretty for us to think about. If there was one race of them, like reptilians or Anunnakis or who created all these different ones, you wouldn't have somebody curious about us walking around this planet. So there will be no need for abductions because there's no, we already know I created you. I already know what you are. But if that truth is not there and there's a wide plethora of species out there, and when one shows up on this planet and see us walking around, one could assume to say that the extraterrestrial was saying, well, damn, what is that? What are those creatures? They're driving cars and they're smart or they got technology. Let's observe them. And there's numerous reasons, when you think about hybrid programs, food, some of y'all are really tasty. All right. And they could be really wanting to taste some things, but why would they want to do that? And like I said, I'm not pretty much saying all of that. See, Damien, you don't got yourself in some trouble looking like in there, but I didn't say it. So, what do the Hills claim that tell us that the nature of UFOs and extraterrestrial life? So that was number 3. The next one was number 4. So I'm going over, if you just got here, 21 of the most infamous or impactful cases of UFOs. In 1947, we have the Kenneth Arnold sighting. Now, he reported seeing a group of 9 saucers near Mount Rainier, Washington. He describes the objects as being a disc shape, moving at speeds over 1,200 miles per hour. Now, his sighting is widely credited with being the first modern UFO sighting, which coined the term flying saucers. Now, I've always thought about, and I remember being corrected by Richard Dolan, if I'm not mistaken, and I said, well, why we're seeing orbs today and not a lot of flying saucers, and maybe we're still seeing flying saucers and not orbs. And I said, well, just as the same as that we would have had a Cadillac, 1962 Cadillac, and today now we have, a 2002 or 2001. Now we have a Cadillac that the technology is a lot better, right? So when we think about it that way, maybe their technology has advanced more, the more that they have become and so maybe that's something that we can look at from that standpoint. But what did he really see is the questions that people still ask. He saw 9 disc shape. And once again, it still goes back to all of these sightings. Are they observing us? Are they here? Why don't we still see them? Now, most people believe today that their technology is now more cloaked and they could be sitting right up front of us because and if you think about it, you've seen some of this stuff on Instagram where they got these little cloaking sheets and stuff that they can just put up and disappear right behind or panels. And that's us. Imagine them thousands of years ahead of us that at some point, if they don't want us to see them, they're not going to be seeing that. Chad said, you'll witness the greatness of Roderick. Listen, I know y'all been seeing some of the new videos. I've been trying to do some narration and documentary style. And, my guy's been helping our editor, if you've seen the thumbnails and all of that stuff, we're really trying to put some things really out there and pretty much. But yeah, Nicole said they're more advanced technology. So you would think that they are and have hidden those things. Now, and the question would be, why has Kenneth Arnold sighting remained so influential in the UFO community? Now, was it because he was a upstandard, individual? Because there's so many people report sightings and everything else, it's a little different. What makes his a little different? What does his sighting tell us about our fascinations with him? And again, this is what a coin phrase came from, the flying saucers, and they give us something to think about. And reason a lot of this stuff is significant today, because when they began to disclose and reveal all the things that we used to do and said what was happening and all of the different UFO sightings, and we're going to start getting answers for some of this stuff. We're going to start getting answers. Did the government actually see UFOs, or did the government actually retrieve a crash weapon, or not weapon, but flying saucers and everything else? I have a gentleman that I talked to yesterday, and I'm going to put his story out there. His family is really famous. Okay. He sent me photographs and pictures and stories of his family actually have retrieved, or at the time had, an holographic things from extraterrestrials that they was able to use and project. And he was just telling me an enormous story of an encounter with his family. I have a young lady who is here in Dallas area. She should be here in a couple of days. So sometime I'm either get her to the studio or go out and meet. He's sharing her story. She provided photographs of implants that she has. I have them, on my computer or in my phone as well. and she's bringing the actual files of the MRIs and even video with her taking I forget the whatever the meter is, and rubbing it right here, and that thing just and where the other implants are. So this is it's we are getting some stories, and we're going to really break the bank on stories and things that people never heard before. So it's going to be really, really interesting in doing that. So, but the gentleman, we're going to, and you all heard of his family. Family is a legend in the music industry, and he's doing a tell-all story. And he just kind of spilled the beans. Over an hour we talked. We're going to talk again. He said I can record it so I can play it to you all. So I meant to call him today, but I'll do it tomorrow. But anyway, another part is the Lonnie Zamora incident. I don't know if y'all heard of this, but this was in 1964. It was in Lonnie Zamora, a New Mexico police officer, reported seeing a UFO land in a field. He described it as a large oval-shaped object with a dome top, and he considered this to be one of the most credible ones because, if I'm not mistaken, he was the one who saw, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he was the one who saw the UFOs, not the UFOs, but the aliens running around out there, scrambling around, trying, oh shit, we got to fix this damn thing, and so we can go. So yeah, it was a police officer and everything else. Rebel Raider, what's going on? Mumblebees is in the house. What's happening? Roderick, do you think aliens would try to test us like in the movie Arrival? No, I think they already think we're dumb and stupid. Man, I think we got a thunderstorm out here. Do y'all hear that? It's raining really hard. Okay. Like really raining. Yeah, like storm raining. And I don't know. I think they will pretty much, and we can kind of see about that a little bit. All right, so hang on one second. I need to let Zulu in for a second. It is storming. He was over to the outside, and he's barking. So while y'all do that, I'm gonna put some on the screen. Make sure you vote real quick. Go into y'all. Just give me a second. Don't go anywhere. It'll take less than 30 seconds here. Yeah. So anyway, make sure you vote. It's in the description. It's in the description. The link. Make sure you vote. I'll be right back. All right. All right, we're back. I had to go save the dog. Man, I was storming hard. I'm like really crazy. All right, so anyway, where was I? Do y'all remember? I lost my train, a whole outline. Gee, man. Oh, okay. So the story we was talking about was the Lonnie Zamora incident, and it was the police officer, and he was talking about how he ended up seeing that crash, and then they was running around trying to fix their spacecraft, and pretty much. And then I know Monica asked, would they test us like a rival? And I think I was saying no, You know, I don't think they already think our intelligence is not there in some areas. Okay, well, they could, because if they're trying to say, okay, we're just going to test their intelligence and see what they know, and if they know any damn thing, then that may be the case of what they were doing, and so that could be possible from that case. And I think, Zulu is huge now. I mean, he is really big, and I would love to, somehow give y'all a picture of this dude. He is really, really big, and I think that's something y'all need to pay close attention to when you get an opportunity. I'm gonna put a picture up, and then you'll be like, pay close attention. This boy has grown. I'm gonna try to email it to me, and I'll put it on the screen here in a little bit. But yeah, he is now a big boy, and he's a little over a year old, and he is starting to mature. But anyway, let me keep talking so that we can continue to go down the road here, the rabbit hole of what we're doing. In the meantime, I will email me this picture of Zulu, and then we can do that. But all right, so are y'all really ready for disclosure? And I think we talked about that all the time. Are we really ready for what is going to be happening when it gets down to, all of this stuff? And that is something to really think about. But they're saying that there's going to be some big stuff happening, and I just think everybody should be at any given time ready for everything. Yeah, and so, yeah, I'm not, now he's in the other room in there. So, but y'all hear it thunderstorming and everything else. So I'm gonna try to, put a few photographs up and see if we can get him to, so you can kind of see him in just a little bit. But I think we got a storm out there. I don't know if y'all hear it. Could be almost like a tornado or something. It's like really bad. And it just came out of nowhere because I just went out there and pretty much. But now this is when most of the UFOs move around too. A lot of people think they hide and camouflage within the storms and stuff. So that is something that we can look into and pretty much and think about. But yeah, they do say that happens, and we have some anyway. But let me I'll show y'all a shot of the man right here. Let me download the picture, and here's another one here. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm back a little bit. I'm sorry to bore some of y'all. But anyway, if you hadn't voted, make sure y'all do vote for me and everything else, because that is something I am really, excited about, and definitely want you to vote from there. What the heck? I ain't never seen nothing like this before. Where this is crazy. There we go. Yeah. Now we're talking. So let's go this route. We should be. Man, if y'all can hear all that, I'm telling you, it's a major storm. All right. So anyway, let's keep going. And here's a picture of Zulu right now. This is what he looks like right now. He's a year old. And there he is. There he is from the side. He's a big boy now. And yeah, that's him right there. So he has grown a lot. Okay. All right. So y'all get to see him then. Yeah. So he's grown. All right. So Mumblebee says there was a video I recently saw in the sky in Texas during a thunderstorm that showed a laser beam coming from the sky, and you can see. Yeah. Yeah. He's a beautiful dog, man. And he's temperament is off the chart. He's just like picture perfect. All right. So the next one is the Rendlesham Forest incident. This happened in 1980. Yeah, so I'll put him up one more time so y'all can kind of see him again. But yeah, I took this last week. That's him. We were at the park walking, And so that's him right there, and that's him from the side. And yeah, and he's a big boy. Y'all like his collar. His collar is a Texas custom made spike collar. And yeah, so that's his collar. Yeah, so he's a nice boy there. So anyway, in 1980, there was a group of British military personnel reported seeing a UFO land in the Rendlesham Forest, Suffolk. Now, the personnel described the UFO as being a large triangular-shaped object with lights. And so the Rendlesham Forest incident is considered to be one of the most well-documented UFO cases in history. Now, the reason this one gets so much is because the fact that it's military people, so they're going to have the what's the word that I'm looking for? So people are going to believe them a little more because of the fact that they have a credibility of being in the military, what they saw, and this is what happened in all of these things. But the amazing part of this is we do have all these documented cases of things that have happened in UFOs, whether it's the Rendlesham Forest, whether it's the this Lonnie Zamora incident, as well as all of these things. I mean, yet, like I said, we still don't have the belief. Now, I am also saying that she said, did it get him an alien toy? No, I haven't got him an alien toy yet. No, I have not got him one of those yet, but we will. Now, once again, if you have not had an opportunity to be ready, I'm planning to do and let me know. I'm planning to do the first Project Black online event. I got about 6 people that will speak and talk that I'm working on, and we can do this anytime. Now they're all ready. I just didn't know, to kind of help with the speakers. I may, maybe like a $20 or something, admission to watch it live or whatever. And these 5 speakers we're going to be talking, and I'll make the announcements who they are. So if you had an opportunity, would you attend this online event for $20, right? And basically, if we can get 30 or 40 or 50 people, it'll at least give me an opportunity to bless those speakers for coming to this event. And because it'll be 5 or 6 hours long, and each one I'm speaking about an hour. And so you'll get a lot out of it, and what's going on with consciousness, what's happening in our community, how things are happening. There will be religious people. Daryl will have Michael Carter, Reverend Carter. Well, these people are there. So if you would attend, just let me know. But either it could be 50 and 20 people, it could be 20 people or 50 people at $20, whatever. But it'll at least give me so I can bless each one. It's 6 of them. And so you can imagine giving them all something, and they're going to deserve it, right? So you just let me know if you would do. All right, just voted for you. Thank you. Y'all make sure y'all keep voting pretty much from there. So, okay, y'all just talk. Sandra's talking about my dog is Hampton, because I thought she was talking to me, but I forgot. It was a delay, so y'all probably talking about Zulu. Well, anyway, the personnel described the UFO as being a large triangular shape, and then, of course, the question is, what did the British military personnel really see in 1980? People are still trying to say, oh, they saw this, but they made many movies about this Rendlesham Forest incident all the way into what we're having today. And what really challenges today is, except for missing 411, David Pilates stuff of happening out here in these wilderness and forests, it's like we probably have more UFO stuff that's been coming out lately, but because they have done a great job of desensitizing the public about it, I guarantee you, people are just not talking about it as much. Now people are seeing stuff, and now they're just going back to work. And I think that was their plan. That was the big secret keeper's plan, is to put so much information out there now today, and now to claim what we said was not true to be true, and then to confuse the general public or the communities, not us but others, to a point to where people seeing stuff in the sky and they just think it's normal. Oh yeah. And you hear, because I get the questions all the time, or hey, I see UFOs all the time now. And when they saw the first one, they're all over the seats and chairs, like, damn, there was a UFO, man. God, because you can hear videos. And now when you start listening to videos, hey man, what's that? Oh man, there it is. Last couple of years, you saw a video. Whoa, wow. So I think I think there's a global thing that they're doing, and it's working to bring it down a notch so that when the real truth hits, either people won't care, just like the shuttle missions, where we used to watch them, go off and everybody's standing around 3, 2, 1, and the shuttles take off, to what we see today, that who gives a damn? They probably done launched 200, 300, 1,000 of them since then, and nobody cares. Not even a news camera out there, not even a report written in a newspaper about a shuttle launch, or they don't use them anymore. But you know what I'm saying, going up into space. But who knows? I don't know if you ever heard of the Maury Island incident. Now, this happened in 1947. Now, I've already said in 1947 we had the Kenneth Arnold. Now we got the Maury Island event. Island, like an island out there in the water. We have the Roswell, New Mexico. So in that year, maybe we were under some type of evasion, because we got so many reports in that year. It's incredible. And this one was in 1947. Harold Dial and his son reported seeing a UFO crash and into what they call the Puget Sound. They claimed that they have collected material from the crash site, including a whitish metallic substance, and a volcanic rock. And this is something that they said. And so I thought that was interesting that they will sit here and claim that they saw that. So hang on, here we go. But what really happened there, nobody really knows. But once again, this was in 1947. And we got all of these damn UFOs coming out. So were we under some type of, invasion now that everybody's seeing them all over the place? Were they arriving at that time, or whatever cluster or particular aliens decide to come and say, okay, we're going to visit Earth? I don't know. And maybe it's definitely possible that this was happening when it comes down from there. Another one, again, is the I'm sorry, I printed this one twice. So how did I do that? How did I print that twice? But anyway, let's go with this one here. Let's go with the Travis Walton case. Now, this was in 1975. Now, he claimed to have been abducted by aliens while working in Arizona. I'm sure a lot. Did y'all hear that? I know y'all heard that, right? And he claimed to have been abducted by aliens while working in a forest in Arizona. Now, his fellow loggers reported seeing him being lifted into a spaceship by a beam of light. Now, that was pretty weird there. Now, in his case, question was asked about the physical and psychological effects of alien abductions and the potential for aliens to abduct humans for experimentation, because he was gone. He had a loss of time. And that goes back to what I said earlier. Do we have a situation to where people are hang on, let me see if we got some folks to hang on. So we online. Yeah. So anyway, that goes back to he was gone for about 3 days. So Sonia says she met Travis Walton at a UFO conference. Very, very credible. What made him so credible to you, Sonia? I've never met him. We have the same agent, and so I soon will meet him, I'm sure. But I just want to know. So, girlfriend of Bay is here with us. What's going on? And again, make sure you all are voting for me for this year's Conscious Awards. And we're all going to go down there again this time. But hey, if y'all didn't know, though, this year Conscious Award is going to be 3 freaking days. Last year was just 1 day. It's going to be a celebrity basketball game that Friday night. Then it's going to be like a party. Let me give y'all some descriptions for that. So make sure when you get your tickets and stuff, we can do that. Let me find and just kind of tell you about what's going on that night, so you'll know. Well, that whole day. All right, here we go. All right, so there's going to be a Friday night at 7 p.m. a celebrity basketball game, and then Saturday at 8:30 a.m. there's going to be to 4:30 Forbidden Knowledge Conference at Biscayne Bay Marriott, which we were there last year. And then at Saturday from 6:30 to 10:30 a yacht cruise, okay, a VIP yacht cruise. And then there's going to be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. a book signing. That's going to be a Sunday. So from 6:30 to 10:30 Saturday night, we're going to all be on a yacht, man. And then there's going to be the red carpet Sunday from 3 to 5, then awards from 5:30 to 9:30 at the Asgard Center. So it'll be back at the same place. But this time, like I said, it's going to be 3 days versus 1 day. So y'all make sure y'all definitely go from there. Yeah, 3 days. I don't know the price of it at this point. And pretty much, but yeah, we just have to kind of go. Yeah, it's almost my birthday. My birthday is March the 10th. In the description, y'all know that, you know, I have now, and let me say to this, I have gotten into the shape enough where I'm able to get out here and walk, and I've always been able to walk, but I'm saying, you know, I'm walking distances to where we're now getting ready to hit the damn streets. And my birthday wish, which is you know, we're about 40% there, is to get the DJI Pocket stuff to replace some things. And man, I'm telling you, everybody got this thing. It's the most creative camera out there. Reason being is because you don't have to have a cameraman. That's what I ran into last year when I kept trying to go out. I didn't have anybody to go with me to hold the camera, you know, and blah, 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 and this and that. And it was terrible. I had to go by myself. But now this camera, you can just sit it up and push a button in a face track. And so I can be sitting here talking to somebody, interviewing them in the streets, and I can move, that thing will move and all that. But anyway, in the description, there is where you can go and donate to that. But like I said, this Friday night, we're going to do a live stream. Nicole is be here. Lonnie is going to be here with us and a couple other people. And we're all going to do a big talk about some stuff, but it's going to be live celebrating my birthday coming up. And I just appreciate it. I really appreciate you all and everything else. And like I said, we are now launching our Project Black stuff in the next 30 days. I think we'll start doing some online live events. I'll put up another website where people can start giving your email address, logging in for stuff so that we can, because we're now there at the point that it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, we're going to have a birthday bash, baby. I'm going to dance for y'all on the pole on my birthday. Hell yeah. Damn sure I'm going to do a pole dance for y'all. So I'm taking it in that night. Be ready, baby. Be ready. Well, anyway, there was something called a Gulf Breeze UFO incident. Now, this happened in 1987 through the 90s. Ed Waters, he was a resident of Gulf Breeze, Florida, claimed to have seen and photographed a UFO on multiple occasions. His photograph and eyewitness account sparked a media frenzy to help raise awareness of the UFO phenomena. Now, in his case, this incident was one of the most well-documented cases on record, and it helped fuel the debate about the reality of UFOs and the potential of visitations. Now, as always, was the UFOs that he saw real or was it not? You know, people talk about that, you know, at this point. What did he actually see? And I bring this up once again is because we are at the point to where now the challenges is, you know, if they're about to disclose, what would they disclose? Which incident, which information would we most likely see? Which stuff would they validate at what point? Because now, like I said, it's now going to get real. And you've all heard me say this 100 freaking times. Are we really ready for disclosure the way that we think we want? And I know most of you will type in the chat, hell yes, tell me everything. And I'm saying to you, if you were about to fly on a commercial airplane and, you know, and everybody else was coming out running, walking really fucking fast, and they was upset, and you asked one of them, what y'all upset about? Well, man, that was a UFO flew right by us while we was up there and the plane shook upside down. and now and they're telling us, they're disclosing this to everybody. The pilot came out, said, "Oh, attention, flight 2232. The turbulence that you just had was not a wind shear; it was a UFO." And I don't know why that damn thing flew so close to us, but it almost hit us. And I'm gonna call his daddy. I don't know, but this is the disclosure that you think you want. Now your ass would not get on another plane, and you know you wouldn't if you knew this was happening on a regular basis. Now, if you're not going to get on another plane because you knew UFOs was up there tampering with flights, yet okay, we had not had a crash, but you don't want to be the first one that the damn thing decides to chip. The economy begins to go down. Yes, planes and commercial airlines and people not traveling, it will tear up the economy just for a disclosure like that. I'm not making this up. It's serious. And you all know you will not get back on a damn airplane if you find out that most of the incursions up there was happening through UAPs and UFOs, turning off instrument panels. Okay, if it was not for the ninja skills of the pilots, it's the only reason we have not had a major tragedy behind something like that. But what happens when you get a goofy alien, one of them that's really goofy, that been around Earth long enough with a little personality, and he want to play chicken? And then all we got problems. So I'm just saying that these are things that I don't think people are really ready to know. Yeah, I do it humorously, but this is serious though, right? You look down a yard and you see your neighbor's house and the grass is this fucking tall and the newspapers are stacking up and the homeowner sent out a fucking memo that they've been abducted. And we hope whenever they get back that somebody can cut their grass. Do you move? Now, do you move now? Like, wait a minute. And when you find out it's two people in the neighborhood and they somehow like your neighborhood, and then you try to sell the house, how many people you think you're gonna get a higher price? Well, you might get some dumbass folks that'll be like, I'll pay $1 million to live in that neighborhood. You know what? It just may be a moneymaker, but I'm not the one to try it. That's all I'm saying. So I'm saying we want certain disclosures. We want to know that they've been taking people and not bringing them back. Do we want to know? And so, although we're pushing for military technology, we're pushing for, transparency between multinational corporations and contractors, and where's our tax dollars come? But what really happens when they just come out one day and just say, "Fuck it, UFOs, aliens are here. They're real." Now, where do you go with that? Now, the next question is, we want to meet them or we want to whatever. So what do we really want when we come down to this? Are we enough at a point that we know that this is a real deal, right? Nicole said new investigation is starting on that Malaysia flight. I heard about that. And why would they do that? I was watching some kind of documentary a while back that said that, this thing may have disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle area, which has been known to be some type of portals. Now, if anything, we should explore that. But I don't think there's enough brave enough fucking souls that want to go back over there messing around with the Bermuda Triangle. They don't do it because they got enough evidence that you don't pass go, you don't collect $200, you go straight to jail, like missing when you go fucking around over at the Bermuda Triangle. They know this. And so you don't hear a lot of that stuff. Yeah, I know they have new data. I was reading that where it probably went another direction versus what they had. Then you hear stories that it was possibly some type of wealthy person that was there and they was trying to cover up the story. There's just so many stuff when it comes down to the Bermuda Triangle when we hear about, not Bermuda Triangle, but Flight Malaysia or whatever, 370 or whatever it was, that, yeah, and why not look back into it? But for what? What difference does that make, right? And whatever they find out, I don't think they're going to like it. Robert Wader said, I saw that Nicole may be something come out this time. Yeah, okay. Y'all talking among yourself. That's cool. Damon said, I think we should start with a full government audit, particularly black budget items. Now, that ain't going to never happen. We're not going to get an audit of where our money is going. I mean, that is the whole purpose of the cover up. And we're just not going to never get that. That's not going to go down. And so I don't think we're ever going to, and the contractors are not going to like that, because see, what people really don't realize It is the contractor who takes the reverse engineer military technology that the government actually found and gave them and said, well, here, take this and build me a weapon. Now, if I was one of those contractors and you was one of those contractors, you're going to be always advancing technology for the next buck. You have to, because the only way your company is going to stay viable and profitable and also be ahead of the curve when it comes down to military weaponry. So when you sell the government gun A, X2, whatever, you've already working on gun AX6. And which means that the military contractors actually have better technology, deep state, cabals, whatever you want to call it, than the government themselves. Why? Because they made the damn shit. The government don't make nothing. We have to understand that. And so do you think they're going to be able to waltz their ass in somebody's compound and says, now you got to turn over all of your tech that you'll make billions and trillions of dollars off of? And then and if you don't, we're going to come in there and shoot. And they're going, yeah, you can bring your ass in here, but we got some stuff in here that you don't know about that we made that's better than what we just sold you, that's going to wax your tail. And if you go back to the stories that, what's his name? Dr. Stephen Greer did at his press conference. Y'all remember that? What did the ex-military guy say that they ran into in the jungle? Y'all remember, right? They had a infantry. They was out there in the jungles when they ran into this trafficking with the space UFO looking spacecraft, but there was also man-made, that whoever that group was had better and more sophisticated weapons than our government, and they had the very best when they was out there. And whoever that group was had some shit. He said it to make them put their stuff to shame. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, and it was one of the things. But it wasn't Dr. Greer who said it. Y'all got to remember, he did a press conference where he said he got all the files and he's going to show where all the stuff was and all these things. And that's what he was talking about. But the whole point, it was one of the guy who was an ex-military that was on the panel that was telling his story. And that's what he was talking about, that they had better freaking weapons than they did. And why not? Because they're the ones who made them and then sell them to our government. And therefore you're going to protect your own, because you got multinational corporations. They got their own freaking security team. They got their own crash retrieval technology. They got their own satellites out there searching the skies for extraterrestrial voices and sounds and contacts and stuff. And they're trying to seize the moment just as much as we are, or the government is. This thing is huge. It doesn't just come around like this. All right. So anyway, we all know about the Phoenix Lights. I got my guy, Clive. He's a movie production company he has, and he's done many stories on Phoenix Lights. He's probably one of the most renowned experts on the Phoenix Lights incident. I'll have him here pretty soon. My brother will be on with us a little bit. But, we're talking about thousands of people in Arizona. In Nevada reported seeing a large triangle UFO flying over the city. The U.S. Air Force initially claimed that it was flares, but later on retracted the statement. That was pretty crazy. Phoenix Lights has been dubbed as one of the biggest things in history. And there's so many people that, like I said, making movies, content, documentaries, their stories. So many people saw this, people that was in town that night. I think it was thousands of reports. And so when you get stuff like this, what was it? Now, was it one ship that was so fucking miles and miles wrong, like a mothership? Was it a coordination of ships? Was it some holographic technology? There's just so many rumors when it comes down to the Phoenix Lights and what's happening. We have to do this. And again, this is why I'm talking about some of the most infamous, impactful stories in the history that we will know to do, so that this stuff goes down. It goes down when it happens. The other one is the U.S. Nimitz. Now, I've always said it, if y'all all remember, and I'm still putting it out there. In fact, let me put this on the screen right now, in case anybody watching this at a later time and they're still around. This is our UFO 24-hour hotline. I had to take it down for a while because it was just getting so many weird calls. People were just telling some stuff. But if you got a story and you want to share, it will record if I don't answer it, and I do answer it live throughout the day when I have an opportunity. So if you were to call during that time, you'll be able to definitely check things out. So you can leave your stories and everything else. So again, if you have an opportunity, make sure you do that and check things out, completely, I should say. So I think the other part is hang on. Yeah, the other part is to think about how can I put this, but before I say that, anyway, make sure you share your story. You can call 24 hours a day if you see this, and I'll leave that up while we're talking right now. And pretty much. So once again, Damon is saying starting on Thursday, which is test stuff. Okay. Marcy said the positive ones helping us, negative ones are working with the psychopath. Destiny Rocks is in the house today. It's been a while. What's up, D? And so I think that and that's something to be debate as well, Marcy, because what if there are some good ones that's working with us to advance mankind, but maybe they're not putting whatever they're working on us in the masses capacity, but they're because they know something we don't know, and maybe humans are like freaking cockroaches or something that they think, and I'm not saying we are because we're not, and they think we are destroying the planet, and so therefore they may have this plan to reduce population or something because there's just too many people here, and it makes you wonder because we've never seen, not as yet, a bunch of UFOs that shows up in the thousands and hundreds of thousands. So that makes you wonder, how is this done? Because they obviously know there's 5 billion people on the planet. Yeah, they got some technology, but at some point we could raise some type of rebellion and win a battlefront, right? Maybe it's 5 billion to 2 or 3. Yeah, they may have some superior technology, but we just need to get lucky once and shoot it. So those are one of those things. Now, there was a story of and I'm doing a video on that about one of the soldiers in the UK recently over at the Ukraine when they was using their drones. Actually, they filmed a UFO and it was huge. They said, and they picked it up with their thermal drones, which was more of a consumer grade products that is the DJI T3T or something thermal, and this drone spot this UFO just sitting there hovering, and they said this thing was huge, and the thermal drones picked it up, and so that is something for you to really think about, that we have this now. That goes back to the Galactic Federation. That goes back to all these stories. They're here to protect us. They're here to. Well, they had an opportunity to stop some shit there. They didn't. And I really don't think they give a damn. They really don't. I think they're more concerned with us trying to get off the planet to infest the cosmos than anything else. Um, I just don't. I just don't think. I don't think they care to way that we think, where people think they're going to stop battles and wars and stuff. That's not their agenda. And now you keep hearing, oh, it's not the mandate. So what is our biggest threat? If the biggest threat is not us and not us fighting ourselves, and we're worrying about the Galactic Federation to come to protect us from ourselves, then there's got to be a bigger threat. There's got to be something bigger that they will intervene about other than us destroying each other. And yet we may not have the capability, because you can't say about nuclear weapons. And a lot of people be like, nuclear weapons, and you're talking about radiation. Well, every UFO sighting, they live around radiation. It's us who don't. That's just why we see them always around our nuclear weapons, as though they're refueling, recharging. If something is on the ground, if one has walked around, we always test for radiation. We can't live in the radiation, but they can, if I'm not mistaken. So that can't be it at all. So we have to really look into what's really happening when it comes down to this, and I just don't think everybody pays enough attention to really think it through. That could be something for us to consider when it comes down to that as well. So yeah, Mark said, yeah, they have we have a hotline who's going to call in tonight. Well, that number right there is not well, I could answer if I want, but ain't nobody calling in tonight. That's why I started taking it down anyway. Not with stories, they may call, but we're gonna call. Y'all can call in Friday for the birthday. This is just for people who want to report anything that they got going on, and then we're going to put that in there a little later. So, in fact, I can move that pretty much from there. All right, but if you want to support tonight's show and you find any value, there is the Cash App there as well. So you're welcome to use that if you want. I'm just trying to, really put some more information. Anyway, let me finish this Nimitz, and then we'll go into a couple of more things, and then we'll kind of open up a little more UFO stuff that's happening in the news. Now, the Navy pilots reported seeing unidentified flying objects in their aircraft carrier in the Pacific Ocean. Now, the objects were described to be a tic-tac shape and capable of incredible speeds and maneuvers. Now, what we want to think about is the U.S. Nimitz UFO incident is one of the most credible UFO cases on the record, and it raised questions about the nature of UFOs and the possibility of advanced technology. And people still saying that these could be man-made technology. It could be made from man-made, right? Where it's not so much the fact of alien tech. And the same thing, a lot of this stuff that I will assume to say that a majority of UFOs that people see could be man-made devices that are things that are operating that we don't really know about. And so I think that's really possible. And people could need to get at some thought, when it comes down to that. Law Jack City says, I would love to go peacefully to a floating advanced civilization in space and lay up in a 5-star pyramid hotel. Yeah, until you laying up and you become the dinner and they turn around and serve you up. And they're gonna be like, yeah, man, you're welcome. You're gonna be happy. They're gonna be fattening you up, giving you top food. You're gonna be thinking, oh man, they're giving me the best of the best of the best. Then they all take out, they roll you into the main course and everybody's clapping, saying, oh yeah, we getting ready to tear this up. Yeah, that's what they would do. What if the UFOs and the Navy pilots, what did they really see? And I think still today we assume what we think we know when it comes down to what they actually saw when it comes to this, and that's something to really think about from there. Also, how many of you know that Gaia is getting ready to have some big 3 or 4 day conference, and all of you can get a free ticket to it through the Truth Seekers? I meant to send the email out yesterday for you can sign up. If you're on the email list, definitely get ready to sign up. You can go to whythebigsecret.com and get on our email list. But I'm gonna send an email out tonight to everybody's on there, and then you can click it. You have to click it through that link, and you're going to be able to get the free conference. They have all these speakers, people Beckwith, all these people are going to be there, and you Truth Seekers all get a free admission to this 4-day event. And so I'm a brand ambassador, so I'm giving that to our community. So I'll send that out once we are able to do that. Another part is the Go Fast incident. Now that happened in 2015. This is a U.S. Navy pilot reported seeing a UFO flying at supersonic speeds near his craft, and it's in the Pacific Ocean. And they was described of being, I think, like a cylinder type thing, wherever it was, and it was capable of incredible acceleration. And this one, if I'm not mistaken, was able to, meet them at point A to point B as though it knew what they were thinking. And of course, it was one of the things, once again, Was it really a UFO that they saw? Was it extraterrestrial? Was it, again, man-made product, some multinational corporation type product? There was a lot of things. Now, I think it did get into the water, which makes it a little different because we don't particularly have a transmedium type thing from there. The conference and event is going to just make sure y'all are. Let me see if I have something for you. Hang on. I can put it in a chat where you can get the link or something. Just maybe. Just maybe. Well, anyway, I'm gonna send it out. I'll put it together for you. Hang on a second. I'm gonna put it here for you. Yeah. Yep, hang on. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna put it right here. For now, there's a link there. Make sure you click it. You can click it now and get on their email list and then hop on back over here. But it's in the chat right there for Gaia. It's for the free event from us. But like I said, I'm gonna send it out to the entire email list. If you're on my email list, you will get it tomorrow. I'll send it out. But if not, you definitely want to check it out and see. So make sure you yeah. And yeah, we'll make sure that happens for you right off the bat. Cats. Yeah, baby. We'll make sure it goes down. All right. So having said that, the gimbal, this happened in 2015. The U.S. Omaha happened in 2019. This was a Navy destroyer reported seeing multiple UFOs fly near the ship in the Atlantic Ocean, and UFO was described as being spherical shape and emitting a bright light. Now, this incident is another recent case that raised the questions about the nature of UFOs and the possibility, once again, of advanced alien technology, and it highlights the increasing frequency of UFO sighting by military personnel. And see, that's something that a lot of people never took for granted took for granted and never really thought about the fact that these bad boys are showing themselves near our military crafts, because it's almost like they sizing it up and saying, you know what, you can't do a damn thing about it. And we can just cruise by, or they're curious. And this is why I tell people it's not another freaking country. It's not China. If any of them countries had the ability to have something that move around as fast as that and could go from place to place in within multiple seconds, and then they tie a weapon up on it, lights out, period. We all be speaking some other languages or under some other rule if it was. And that's not the case. Now, if it's a multinational corporation, yeah, they're just going to do and sell technology to the highest bidder, or use it for wherever advancement that they want. And so all of that takes a whole different precedence over the fact of, selling items and stuff. So we know that's not to be true. So that's something to really think about from there. So anyway, that was 21 of the most infamous or impactful UFO encounters that we've had out there from there in pretty much. And so I think it's something that let me see what's going on in the chat. It's true about the 60-ton coffin found in Egypt recently. I've heard, I don't know if I heard that story. Was it 60-ton coffin? I don't know. But I was just investigating this dude that came up missing, Darwin something, that supposedly, filmed a giant last year or whatever, and then he came up missing. But now everybody's saying that whole stuff was debunked and fake. But a 60-ton coffin, I'm gonna assume that would be something pretty big. But yeah, I think Faye, I wouldn't worry about the fact that they've been lying to us all this time. I'm not a person too much worried about how they've been lying to us all this time. I'm more into why they could possibly be lying to us all this time, because the why is always more important than how they've been doing it. And they do have us focusing on how. We know they've been covering it up this way, or they cover up this way, and they use this type of stuff, or they playing mind games. And they got us focusing on how they're doing it, and that's the chase. Hell, we can give a freaking flying whatever about the how. I'm almost more concerned about the why. And if we can get to find out why they did this, then we can understand better to what is happening and what's going on. And I think that's something that we need to pay attention to and really find out what is happening when the time comes from there. And it's something from there, I should say. I think how and why are both. Well, yeah, I'm not saying, girl from the Bay, that how, but how is never. In other words, if you look at anything, so think about a crime scene that, something just happened, horrific, police, everybody shows up. There no, and they know the person have gotten shot, 6 times and laying there. They already know how. They're not concerned. They now trying to find out why it happened and why. And even when they find out who did it, they still go to find out why did this person do it? Because that's the most important thing. Even when they know they did it, even when they go to trial, they don't care. We got proof that you did it, but why? The whole speculation is the why, because the why shapes the narrative to a point to take you places to make discoveries of information that could be far beyond what most people think or whatever happened with the how. And that's one of the things I think. Yeah, and you're correct. They don't want us asking why. They want us to keep focusing on how, because the how keeps us asking each other, "Oh, they keeping it a secret. They did this yesterday. They did this," and we're focusing on, even now. We still focusing on how they're trying to keep the secret, and we're fighting for disclosure. But there's only a few people know why, and why is the most scariest part, because if the why reveals something that we can't handle as humanity, then you understand, I know why you don't want us to know. They take you behind the curtains and show you some shit. And you be like, damn, I know why you don't want us to know. So that makes more sense than anything else when it comes down to the big secrets and the big secret keepers and what they're doing. And so I think that's something that we can look into from there. And like I said before earlier, I'm going to do our first Project Black online event. I got a couple of speakers, or I got 6. And like I said, I'm just debating, it's got to be online. I'm wanting to, graciously give each one of them a contribution to their time. And so I may do like a $20 ticket. I think that's where it could be, but I got to kind of at least know I'm gonna have at least 50. So I got to set the event up and all that, and pretty much. So if anyone really good at that kind of stuff, where we can do an online webinars and all that, let me know. Reach out. Don't put in a chat that you are, because you ain't gonna call me and email me. Email me if you are. Contact whythebigsecret.com. Put in the chat. Boy, a lot of people don't follow through that say stuff in this chat. We all know that. Yes, we know. So we can kind of put that, Roger said we're all in nut jobs and some people can't take it. That's true. It is a mental thing. It is going to be a mental thing that a lot of people can't handle the truth, and they really can't when it comes down to what we're talking about. And so I think that's something that we could pretty much look into when we get down to it. I think it's pretty much. So once again, we're going to be here Friday for my birthday. Come with a giving heart, and once again, if you find value, there's a cash out there tonight. If not, there is a subscription in the thing for the birthday celebration. Some of you have already given to that pretty much. So I thank you all for that as well. And let's see. There's a few other things here that we need to do. All right. So we're getting ready to close out here in just a few moments. And Jay, you just got here, man. Yeah, you just got here. We're going to be gone in just a few minutes here. We've been here since 8 o'clock. And I know I haven't been, I had two choices. I mean, I thought about, coming here nightly, with you, or at least 3 times, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like we're doing. But Fridays, I kind of wanted to get back a little bit, and maybe get out. Like last Friday, I was able to go to a movie and actually went to a fucking movie. And I was like, damn, boy, you go, and so that was pretty cool being able to go catch a movie and do some things. So I was able to do that pretty much. And but I could start, like I said, coming back a little bit and do more because I miss y'all. I really do. But I've been working on some video projects and say I went to go see Dune 2. It was really long, 2 hours and 40 some minutes. It had some dead ass spots in it, a couple of cool scenes, but it just really got out of hand from Dune 1. And the only reason I saw it because I looked at Dune 1 and I thought that was pretty good. I was trying to go see the Book of Clarence, and when I got there, it wasn't showing at that theater. I missed up at the wrong one. But so I went on and checked that out, and so it was pretty cool to see. And yeah, and yeah, so yeah, it's just one of those things that you look at and say, okay, let's it was a good movie. Let's check it out. And pretty much. Yeah. So we can kind of go from there. But yeah, so if you haven't saw it, you can see. Have you read the book? No, I haven't read the books at all. And yeah, Dune 1 was pretty good, but and you thought Dune 1 that we established that he was the sugar honey iced tea, the dude was the one, like the Matrix, And now in Dune 2, we got to go all the way back, and it just got so weird. It's like, who thought of this shit? Who thought who did Dune 1 is long too. But yeah, Dune 1 was okay. It went somewhere, the journey. But in Dune 2, it was like, it was like, and then now Dune 2 got a woman scoring, and so now it's gonna be a Dune 3, and she's ticked off and all that. So it was just a lot of stuff going from there. So but anyway, I'm not gonna hold y'all too much longer. Since we're done with the UFO talk. So if you hear and you want to go ahead and leave, it'll be a good time to bamboozle and all that stuff. So I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here. And like I said, I appreciate y'all. I miss you. I love you. And to my haters, as always, you can hate me and not know me. And I can love you without ever meeting you. And I don't want to meet you, but I still love you. And then at any point to say to you, if you're my hater and you come here all the time, then you're really a fan. And so welcome. And it's one of the things I would say, and pretty much. So make sure everybody comes Friday. Make sure y'all tell everybody to be here Friday night, 8 o'clock, 8:30, 8 o'clock. Freaky Friday, but it's my birthday talk. I'm going to have a panel. We'll have some people up. We're just going to talk. We'll still talk about UFOs and stuff. And then we can still have a little fun. But just to celebrate with me is actually March the 10th on that Sunday, but we'll celebrate it Friday together, and we would do that. So if you and Girlfriend of Bay, we love you too, and all of you, Damon as well, all of y'all. And so, but if you want to be on camera with us, I can have up to 10 people. That'd be a great conversation to have us on camera. Y'all hear me say camera? Then you're welcome to come. And just let me know. So y'all be here this Friday, and we're gonna do it, and let's make it happen. All right, so y'all, good night. Stay strong. Keep watching the news. Make sure you're looking up. If you want to see a UFO at any time, just look up. I know you walk looking this way, but if you want to hurt your neck and just do it like this and just walk around looking up, I guarantee you'll see something over some time at some point that's going to fly by and catch your attention. Now, don't worry about trying to zoom in on it, because then you would add to what we already know, grainy pictures. Why come we don't ever have a picture of something clear? It's because everybody tries to zoom in on their phones to take a picture of a UFO as though they think they got telescopes on the phones, and the cameras are not designed to go and look at some 30,000 feet away. You don't have an optical 10,000x zoom on your phone. And so you'd be better off just taking a picture in its natural state, and then we can zoom in after being a 4K picture and maybe do some things to the photo to kind of get a better look. But once you zoom, you mess it up. Everybody does. They just do it every single time. And then they want to put out, well, we never got a real grainy. Give me one person who did not try to zoom in when they saw a UFO. And that's the one. When you become that person and you turn in a photo that you didn't zoom in, it's going to be good. So, all right. I'm going to see y'all Friday. That's what I'm thinking.
Why did Ruby shoot Oswald? Was there a conspiracy?
In a world shrouded in darkness and obscured by deception from the big secret keepers, a burning question ignites in the hearts and minds of truth seekers. Why? Let's dive into the abyss of the unknown. Challenge the limits of our understanding.
This bizarre sequence of double killings raised great questions. Who actually fired the shot that killed Kennedy?
Pierce the veil of secrecy.
Cattle found dead and the manner of their deaths are a real mystery.
Anyone who is concerned about lead in the drinking water in Flint.
And venture into the realm of conspiracies and
make sure y'all vote. Make sure you don't forget to vote. The link is in the description. Make sure you go down there and vote for Roderick. The link is in the description. Go vote. Okay. Make sure you go and vote.
Why did Ruby shoot Oswald? Was there a conspiracy?
In a world shrouded in darkness and obscured by deception from the big secret keepers, a burning question ignites in the hearts and minds of truth seekers. Why? Let's dive into the abyss of the unknown. Challenge the limits of our understanding.
This bizarre sequence of double killings raised great questions. Who actually fired the shot that killed Kennedy?
Pierce the veil of secrecy.